She actually started Monday without sedation, so we're making progress. Now again, I know it's why I'm trying to go to less frequent bandage changes because her skin up here, because Elasticon sticks the hair really well. Well, we shaved the hair, so it's a little bit more of on her skin there. Very nice looking, darling. Nice healthy bed of granulation tissue. She's got me at a dilemma because one like that in a wound I would leave open to finish healing in, but I know she lays in her shavings a lot. Now it is sealed over where we're not worried about the tendon now. I'll tell you what, darling, where we know we're going to lay you down to glue that on, let's leave that open for today just to see how you do on it. What do you think about that? What do you think about a little open time just to see if it swells or anything? Let's test that part out, okay? Let's let your leg breathe and test, and we'll see how it does, okay? Would that work? She's like, where's my treats? She goes, I'm supposed to get treats for this. So for Ginger's bandage change today, we went every 2 days, and I'm actually happy the way it looks this morning. It's got a nice bed of granulation tissue to finish filling in where her sutures popped apart at. And I'm actually gonna let it have some fresh air today. So even though she does lay down in her stall is cleaned on a regular basis, multiple times a day. So what few shavings may get on that leg when she lays down to rest, I'm fine with. So I'm looking today, is it gonna swell any where we're taking the compression off that way? And depending on how it looks this afternoon, I may not wrap it back. I may let it finish healing in just like a regular wound. Or if it's showing me a little swelling, I may put a little more compression on it. So today's kind of the day to see, can we go without bandaging or not? And also we are going to re-glue her toe extension on. So I know we're going to be working on her a little later again just to get that back on there, because since we dropped her heel, we had good luck keeping it just elasticon on originally, but now that we've dropped her heel to stretch it down more, she's able to get that off even with bukus of tape. So we're just going to glue it on to keep it on there to continue stretching down. She is using that leg more naturally now. It's still at an unnatural angle, so we need to keep stretching that tendon to get it where it needs to be at. So that's what the toe extension will help do. So again, we're making progress. She's on a good path. We just got to continue through and see it all the way to the end. Today with Ginger, since we dropped her heel last week, she was easily, even with a layer and layer of elasticon, getting off her extension, which was a good thing because that means she was using her leg more naturally. So we have extended her toe extension, and Elijah is going to glue that on today to get it to stay on. Because she's proven that elasticon, no matter how many layers, she's going to get off now, which is a good thing. That is good because that means she's using it more naturally to do that. So again, most people be upset when you have little blurbs like that, but I'm like, no, she's using it. That's okay. But we're going to do that today. Her skin is healing in. We only have one little nice granulated in area where the sutures come out. So I left it open overnight to see how that's going to do, because I'm hoping that I can just leave it open now, let it finish healing in that way, so she doesn't have to have the bandage changes. Where we shaved her leg down, you know, it's a little more sensitive pulling that elasticon off with all the bandage changes. So she's not showing any real irritation yet, but I want to try to prevent that from starting. So. Yeah, I'm just getting her some sedation, only for the fact is we need her to stay really still while that glue sets up. So just makes it easier, because we have been doing bandage changes this week without sedation, but I'm just going to make it a little easier on us all the way around. Again, that way the glue is set really nicely before she decides to try to get it off again. I had cultured her wound when it looked like it might be a little infected at skin level. Good news is culture came back no growth, so we were doing everything correctly. So again, now that we are back, no, definitely it wasn't tendon sheath because the way we watched it progress, but just makes me feel better, especially knowing that backup, that no, we didn't have a serious infection, that we were doing everything like we should have been doing. Just, it always feels good to have that little extra backup. So better safe than sorry. And Just a little minor swelling, not enough to get me real. Yeah. Let's see how you do after we put your toe extension on, and I'll decide if I want to pressure wrap for the weekend or not. Because if we put it on just for the support, we won't have to change it every day. So that way we'll do the toe extension, see how it does. I may put just a little wrap just to keep some swelling down here since we're putting a little more force to help her extend it down. So, but overall, still happy with it. Again, it's not an overnight process. We are going in the right direction, and we'll keep going. Now I'm like, nope, I'm gonna go ahead and put the pressure bandage on for the weekend just for a little extra backup. That way we don't have to worry about somebody coming in when they feed, wiping the shavings off, things like that. So again, people need to realize, you know, vets think through our processes, and you know, it's a I think out loud process. So this is Honey. Honey does have some healing properties, so I'm just gonna apply a little bit of that topically just to help her healing process. Yes, honey is antibacterial, so it's kind of one of the old school ways that's gained popularity here in the past 10 years probably. She's been really well. She's tolerated her treatments wonderfully.
Get this all cleaned up so we've got something for her glue to stick to. She's got some dry feet. Just from not being out in the moisture, she hasn't had anything wet on her feet for a couple months now. And that's just made them real hard, real dry, kind of flinty. Even the frog here, which is supposed to have, I want to say like 50% moisture content, is I mean it's hard. It is hard. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. Horses that live out in desert conditions, their feet are like this all the time. But it's much drier than we're used to around here, that's for sure. And this is the length you want?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we're gonna try that length, yep. Yeah, because the other one she was flipping off way too fast. So we're like, well, it will help her stretch it out more.
Yeah. So I think I've got some wood in the truck. Mm-hmm. I think I'm actually gonna just make another one and match this length a little bit wider.
Okay.
Because if I try to glue this on, we're gonna be gluing it to her sole.
Okay.
And we're not actually gonna have hardly any adhesion on our wall.
Whatever gets it on there, so that'll be perfect. So yeah.
Make one a little wider
that'll be good. So
fits the width.
Yeah.
Not one of your typical farrier tools. Yeah, so we're just cutting out a blank for a wooden toe extension. She wanted one that was a good bit longer, so we're gonna get this glued up, and she had one cut out that was the right length. It was just a little narrow for the foot, so we're trying to get something that'll fit her quarter to quarter, so we can get full adhesion on the foot. See if she snaps it off immediately. That'll be a
true
pretty
test,
good indicator.
Yeah. Pull it up.
Yeah.
I hear it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Well.
Oh no.
Yeah. Okay. So we know what doesn't work.
Ginger again is being her creative self, and she even is managing to, when we've tried to glue on the first time, the hoof block managed to get it off. So again, minor setback. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to lay her down, try again, and then while she's down, elasticon like we have been having, and again, crossing her fingers to see what she does. So if worst case scenario, she keeps getting the block off, it will just take us longer to get that stretched down. So, but again, we're not willing to give in to her yet. So we're going to try this, and again, we'll hold her breath and see what we get. So right now she just got extra xylazine and midazolam in her. But we need that muscle relaxation where she's so tense. You're becoming a drug hound, unfortunately. She's getting a high tolerance to it.
So I'm just roughing up the bottom of this where the glue is going to stick to as much as we can. Hopefully it'll give it something more to bite into and help keep this thing on. That's as good as we're gonna get it, and hopefully it'll stay on for us. Yeah, so we got our extension on. I did not bring enough glue with me, and so we kind of halfway ran out of glue, and we had to make do and cobble some stuff together. But it's on her, and hopefully it will stay on. If not, I'll have to come back with the proper tools and do it correctly. But it's I think it'll hold for the time being.
So Ginger is back in her stall now, and Ginger being Ginger, of course, loves to throw us sedation surprises. So as you all remember, she hopped up during her suture for her eyelid. Okay, sweetheart, being a baby and an eye, it is going to be fastest and easiest to lay you down like a castration to sew that up. The wound went very well. We just done a little light sedation on her, and being a baby and of course being unpredictable just like any living, breathing animal, human or horse, she decided that she was going to wake up without warning. So I just needed 2 more sutures, so I topped off her sedation. We finished them standing. She popped up during her suture when we done the check ligament desmotomy. For Ginger today, we're going to do her inferior check ligament desmotomy, which means we're going to cut through the check ligament to free up movement of the deep digital flexor tendon so her foot is not contracted back. And today we tried to glue on her extension with her standing, and as soon as we let her set it down, she popped it off. So we're like, okay, we'll lay her down to be able to get it on really good, get the elasticon on, the whole 9 yards. Gave her the same dose of sedation that had worked last week, no issues whatsoever. This week, she's like, no, I'm gonna fight my sedation and not wanna lay down easily. So I did have to do a couple of repeat different rounds of sedation, got her relaxed down, and we did get the extension glued on and elasticon on, and she got up smoothly, and it is still in place. And it is letting her to get it more in a natural alignment. Now again, it is putting a little more strain because we're stretching that tendon more, so I am going to keep her on her pain meds in the meantime. Keep an eye on that. I did put a bandage over what is left of where the incision was, just to keep any swelling down again and make it easier over the weekend, because instead of wiping the shavings off, just kind of low-key management with her, and just letting her chill, be a little young filly that way. So, but everything is still going good, even though Ginger loves to, as I said, when we get everything said and done, her sedation antics, we can all sit back and laugh on, but in the middle of it, it gets a little like nerve-wracking, but it all works out in the end. So again, as I said, we just have to ride it out with Ginger, but she's doing good.